good afternoon. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So today let me give some instructions to the compiler design system software lab. Okay. So once again, welcome to the compiler design and system software lab. So again, the first question is why learn this CD and SS lab. So this course provides skills needed for building compilers, assemblers, loaders for various situations that may encounter in a career in your IT. So by learning about the system software lab, help you become a better software programmer and also a researcher. And if you are going to the field of system side, then this course is a must. So this course will basically introduce the implementation of the major phases of compiler construction, such as the lexical analysis, the syntax analysis, and also implementation of a few parsers, okay, and also implementation of a two-pass assembler, that is pass 1 and pass 2 of assemblers, and also the various few code optimization techniques. Okay, and as you know that code optimization is one of the important phase of a compiler. Coming to the course aim. So what is the aim of the course? To provide students with the knowledge and abilities to design and implement compilers, assemblers, loaders, parsers, and of course the code optimization techniques. Okay, so this course covers the basics of implementing the different phases of compiler, assemblers, loaders, parsers, and the code optimization techniques. And what are the course objectives? So there are three course objectives. The first course objective is to become familiar with lexical analysis and syntax analysis phase of compiler design and implement programs on these phases using Lex and Yak tools. So that means you will understand the various phases of compiler, such as the lexical analyzer, the syntax analysis or syntax analyzer. Okay, and so while implementing these two phases, lexical analysis and syntactic analysis, okay, we'll use the tools such as Lex and Yak, okay, for developing these two phases, scanner and the parser. And the second course objective is to know the implementation of assemblers, loaders, and various parsing techniques. Again, you will understand the implementation of the two-pass assemblers and parsing techniques. There are different types of parser. Okay, we'll implement a few parsers, and then we'll understand the implementation of the some of the loaders, such as absolute loader. So we'll try to implement an absolute loader here, and then implementation of a few optimization techniques. So which is one of the phases of compiler. Okay. So third objective, as I said, learn how to optimize and effectively generate machine code. So we'll implement some few optimization techniques. Okay. And then what are the course outcomes? So there are 4 course outcomes. So first outcome is design, develop, and implement a compiler for any language. That means upon completion of this course, you should be able to construct a compiler for a given language. And the second course outcome, you should be able to use Lex and Yak tools for developing a scanner and a parser. That means you should be able to construct compiler using these Lex and Yak tools. Okay. And the third outcome, to design and implement parser. So we'll implement some parsers here. And then the fourth course outcome, to design algorithms to perform code optimization in order to improve the performance of a program in terms of space and time complexity. That means we'll apply the various optimization techniques to have a better code for code optimization. And what are the prerequisites for learning this course? Yeah, good knowledge of C programming. So you already have the experience of C programming. So these are the list of laboratory programs. Okay, so the list is divided into the various types of the implementation of various types of system software. First is the different phases of compiler. Okay, so first 3 programs. Okay, program number 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 3. First is based on the first phase of the compiler, that is called as the lexical analysis phase of the compiler. And the next 2 programs, the program number 4 and 5, program number 4, 5, 6. Okay, the 3 programs, okay, are based on the second phase of the compiler, that is called as the syntactic analysis of the compiler. Okay, so first 6 program are included to know the first 2 phases of the compiler construction, that is lexical analysis and the syntactic analysis. And the next program number 7, okay, is an implementation of the 2-pass assembler. So here we'll implement only the pass 1 of the assembler. And program number 8, again, we'll implement the absolute loader here. And program number 9 and 10 are with respect to implementation of parser. Okay, and one such parser we will implement is the shift reduce parser. And the program number 11. So we'll write a program to implement the code optimization techniques. There are different types of code optimization techniques. Okay, so we'll try to implement few of them. So there are totally 11 programs. Okay, and the first 3 programs have sub questions. Okay, A, B. So any questions so far? So this is the assessment plan. Okay, continuous implement evaluation is for 40 marks. Okay, assessment methods are test, quiz, and other assessments you will get to know soon. Okay, lab record and other things. Okay, and semester end examination is for 60 marks. Okay, 40, 60 scheme. So before start implementing the different phase of a compiler, no, one has to have the basic knowledge of this compiler. Okay. Okay. So before getting started with writing a program for compiler construction, no, so let us have the basic knowledge of the compiler first. So what is a compiler? So as you know that there are several types of language translators like assemblers, compilers, interpreters, preprocessors, etc. And compiler is a program that translates the high-level language into the machine language. Okay. And what are the different phases of a compiler? Okay. So the different phases or components of a compiler are the lexical analysis, the syntax analysis, the semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, and the final code generation. Okay. And this is depicted in the diagram here. Okay. And what is the input to this compiler? High-level language program. And what is the output? The object code or the machine code is the output. Okay. And what are the different phases? It undergoes lexical analyzer, syntax analyzer, intermediate code generation, code optimization, and final code generation. Okay. And there are data structures like symbol table and error handler. Okay. So this symbol table is used to record the tokens during the compiler constructions, like identifiers, variables, okay, operators, constants, and so on. Okay. And error handler is used to report the errors. Yeah. So we'll go the understanding of each of these phases in detail. Okay. So what is the first phase? The lexical analysis phase. Okay. So what do you mean by lexical analysis phase? So this lexical analysis phase is also called as the lexical analyzer. It is also called as the scanner. Okay, you should remember this. Okay, lexical analysis is also called as lexical analyzer or scanner or tokenizing. It is also called as tokenizing. So what is the function of this lexical analyzer? So this lexical analyzer is the first phase of a compiler. So what is the function of this lexical analyzer? The function of the lexical analyzer is to read the source program character by characters, okay, and translate them into sequence of tokens. Okay, that is the job of or function of the lexical analysis. It takes the source program as input, okay. It will read the source program one line at a time and generate a sequence of tokens. As I said, which are the examples of tokens? Identifiers, um, variables, constants, operators, okay, are examples of tokens. And there are other functions that are performed by the lexiconizer. They are keeping track of line numbers, producing an output listing if necessary, stripping out white spaces, extra white spaces if any, and deleting comments, etc. Because comments are not uh, generated into machine code, no? So it will delete the comments. This lexiconizer phase deletes the comments also. Okay. Next question is, so in order to generate the tokens, no? So what is the technique uh, uh, used to describe a token? Okay. So that technique is called as the regular expression or an approach. Okay. So what is an approach that is used to describe tokens? Because this lexicon phases generates tokens, no? Then how do you describe a token? That is the question. Okay. So tokens are described using regular expression. You already know what is regular expression in your introduction to OS and Unix course. Okay. You have studied regular expression in detail there. Okay. So regular expression is a mathematical expression or mathematical representation method used to describe the tokens. Okay. Then, so how do you implement this lexical analysis phase? So the thing is, writing a compiler is difficult. Okay. It is a complex task, require a lot of time and effort. So construction of the scanner and parser. The scanner is nothing but lexical analysis phase, and parser is nothing but the syntax analysis phase of a compiler. So construction of the scanner and parser is routine enough that the process may be automated. Okay. So these two phases may be automated. Okay. Lexical analysis phase and the syntax analysis phase. Implementation of lexical analysis and syntax analysis phase may be automated. So question is how? Okay, using tools like Lex and YAC. Okay, Lex stands for lexical analyzer generator, and YAC stands for yet another compiler. So YAC is a parser generator. So Lex and YAC are very helpful for the compiler front end. So a lot of time is saved when compared to and implementation of the scanner and parser. So what we'll do in the in implementing lexical analysis phase, okay, you'll use a Lex utility. So as I said, Lex stands for lexical analyzer generated. Generator. Okay. Note that there is a difference between lexical analysis and the Lex. So lexical analysis is not the Lex. Okay. So it is a tool used for generating the lexical analyzer. Okay. So Lex utility is available on your Linux platform. Okay. So that is why you will write all programs on the Linux platform. Okay. Using some editor, we'll write the program. Okay. And we'll use this Lex utility to run your program. Okay. So the Lex utility is available on Linux platform. what it does, the Lex utility. So this Lex utility will take a set of regular expression describing the token as input and generate the lexical analyzer program. Lexical analyzer program is nothing but your lexical analysis phase. Okay. Then this lexical analyzer then take the source program as input and generate the valid tokens. Okay. That is how the lexical analysis phase is implemented. And what is syntax analysis? The next second phase of compiler. Syntax analysis is the second phase of compiler. And what is the function of this syntax analysis? So this syntax analysis is also called as parser. You have to remember this. Okay, so in our compiler model, the function of the parser is to check whether the input string of tokens from lexical analyzer is a sentence of a given grammar. That means syntax analysis is all about discovering the structure of the text or structure of the statement in your program. Okay. So what is input to the parser? Input to the parser is a sequence of tokens that are generated from the lexical analysis phase, and output may be some representation of parse tree. Okay, parse tree, P-A-R-S-E, parse tree. Okay, so the parse tree expresses your high-level language construct of the input data. Okay, analogous to sentences. Okay, so this parse tree is analogous to the sentences. Okay, so parse tree is nothing but a mapping of the grammar symbols, okay, to the input data. Okay, so as I said, the question is again, how do you construct parse tree? There is some method, okay, in order to generate parse tree. Okay, so that method is nothing but the grammar. Okay, use grammar as a method of representing the syntactic rules of a language. Okay, and you already know, you have studied the finite automata theory, isn't it? There you have studied the different types of grammar. Okay, and which is one of the popular grammar among all the types of grammar. So there are several types of grammar, isn't it? Which is the popular among them? Anybody?
CFG.
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 So CFG stands for
Context-free grammar.
Yeah, context-free grammar. Okay, so there are several types of grammar, among which the context-free grammar (CFGs) are widely used. Okay, so we have used the CFG grammar to describe the syntactic language. So that is syntactic rules of a language. Okay. Again, how do you implement this syntax analysis phase? Again, it is a time-consuming job. Okay, it takes a lot of time. Okay, so again, what is that utility available in order to generate the syntax analysis phase of a compiler or the parser? YAC utility, YACC. Okay, the YAC utility available in Linux platform will take the grammar describing the language as input and generates the syntax analyzer program or parser program. So later, this parser program can take the input string of tokens of a program, okay, that is generated from the previous lexical analyzer program, and indicate whether the input string of tokens is syntactically valid or not. Okay. If valid, it generates some representation of parse tree as output. So input to the parser program is a string of tokens or sequence of tokens, and output is a parse tree. Okay. Some representation of parse tree as output. Then the next phase is, third phase is semantic analysis. Okay. So what do I mean by semantic analysis? So semantic analysis checks the semantic consistency of the code. It also checks whether the code is conveying an appropriate meaning. Okay. And this semantic analysis will check for type mismatch, incompatible operands, okay, an undeclared variable, and so on. Okay. Then the next phase is the intermediate code generation. Okay. So this intermediate code generation falls between your high-level language and the machine language. Okay. So the next step of the compiler is the intermediate code generation. The intermediate code can be represented in several ways. Example, postfix expression, quadruples, triples, and so on. Okay. And the intermediate code is generated instead of the final machine code. Okay, because this will help in machine-dependent optimization of the code. Okay, that is the only reason why we have this intermediate code generation. So the intermediate code generation will help in machine-dependent optimization of the code. That means the code that is required for your target machine. Okay. Then the next step is the code optimization. Okay, so what do you mean by code optimization? What is the advantage of the code optimization? So this code optimization helps in minimizing the memory requirements of the compiler. Okay, and there are several ways of optimization techniques. Okay. To list a few, we have common sub-expression elimination, elimination of induction variables in loops, and so on. Okay. And few of these techniques may be machine dependent and other may be machine independent. Okay. And what is the last phase of the compiler construction? Code generation, final code generation. Okay. So the code generation phase of a compiler needs the complete knowledge of the target machine on which the translated code is executed. And hence this is a fully dependent step. Code generation is the fully dependent step. Okay. So output of this code generation is the final object code. Okay. That will be loaded into memory for execution. Any doubts in this? Shall I move? Are you there? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So coming to the um, introduction to Lex and DAC. Okay. So as I said, the first 6 programs are reserved for implementing the lexical analysis phase and the syntax analysis phase of the compiler. Okay. Then how do you implement the lexical analyzer and the parser? Okay, scanner and the parser. Okay. So as I said, we'll use the tools. Okay, the utilities. Okay, which are those tools or utilities? Lex and DAC. So what are Lex and DAC? Okay. So Lex and DAC are nothing but they are language processor development tools. Okay. So the 2 language processor development tools widely used in the generation of compilers are lexical analyzer generator. Okay. In short, it is called as Lex, and the parser generator. It is called as YAC. YAC stands for yet another compiler compiler. So Lex stands for lexical analyzer generator. Okay. So YAC is a parser generator. Okay. So we'll use these 2 utilities. Okay, in order to implement the lexical analyzer phase and the syntax analysis phase of the compiler. Okay. And what are input to these tools? The input to these tools is a specification of the lexical and syntactic constructs of the language L and the semantic actions to be performed on recognizing these constructs. So, so what is the format of the input? That means the specification consists of a set of translation rules of the forum. First part is the string specification, or what do you call it as pattern specification. The second part is the semantic action. So the specification to these the specification of the input to these tools consists of a set of translation rules. Okay. Yeah. Then coming to Lex. Okay. So first we'll try to implement the lexicanizer. Okay. We need which tool? Utility the Lex. So what is the Lex? Lex is a tool for automatic generation of the lexical analyzer. Okay. So what do you mean by lexical analyzer? Lexical analyzer is the first phase of a compiler or first component of a compiler. So what is the function of lexical analyzer? Lexical analyzer scans the input text character by character and recognizes tokens or generate the sequence of tokens. Okay. That means Lex is based on the following principle. Okay. So which are those principles? A set of valid tokens can be specified by regular expressions, and for each regular expression, there is an equivalent finite state machine. That means given a regular expression, one can convert it into a finite automata in the form of a state table. Okay? And the state table together with a program driven by the table acts as the recognizer of the specified pattern. And if you see the diagram here, okay, so Lex is generally used in the manner depicted as shown. Okay, so this is how you create a lexical analyzer with Lex. Okay, these are the steps. Okay, so what are the steps? So first, what we'll do, a specification of the lexical analyzer is prepared by creating a program. Say, for example, file name.l. I will repeat. First, a specification of lexical analyzer is prepared by creating a program in the Lex language. Say, for example, file name.l. Okay, that means all Lex programs must be saved with an extension of .l. Then this file name.l, okay, this Lex specification is run through a Lex compiler. So Lex compiler is nothing but your Lex utility, Lex tool. Okay, so this file name.l is run through the lexical compiler to produce a C program called the lex.yy.c. So lex.yy.c is a C program because it has extension of .c. Okay, so the the program lex.yy.c consists of a tabular representation of a transition diagram constructed from the regular expression of the lex.l together with a standard routine that uses the table to recognize the lexemes. Okay, and it also contains the actions associated with regular expression in lex.l. Okay, are pieces of the C code, okay, C language code, and are carried over directly to lex.yy.c. And in the next step, this lex.yy.c is run through a C compiler. You use the C compiler CC, okay, now to run this lex.yy.c, okay, to generate a.out. So what is this a.out? A.out is nothing but an object code. Okay, that is nothing but your lexical analyzer program. Okay, so this a.out is nothing but the lexical analyzer or lexical analyzer program. Okay, so what this lexical analyzer program will do, it will take a sequence of a statement from the source program one by one. Okay, so input to the lexical analyzer program is nothing but the source program written in a language. Okay, it scans, reads the text character by character, okay, and it will generate the sequence of tokens. Okay, so this is how you create a lexical analyzer with a Lex. Any doubt here? So your job here is in order to write the program, no? So your job is to prepare the Lex source program, okay? File name.l, okay? So first you have to create a specification of lexical analyzer, okay, by creating a program file name.l, okay, in the Lex language. Okay. Then that is run through a Lex compiler to produce lex.y.c, and then this lex.y.c is run through a C compiler to produce the a.out, which is object code, which is nothing but lexical analyzer, and then input is given to this lexiconizer program, and then this lexiconizer will recognizes the tokens. Okay, output will be a sequence of tokens. Then how do you create specification of a lexiconizer? Okay? Then you should know the structure of the Lex program. Okay. So a Lex program consists of three parts: declaration section, rule section, and user subroutine section. Note that the end of the section is marked by double percentage. Okay, how do you mark the end of declaration section? Double percentage. Okay. Again, how do you mark the end of rule section? Double percentage. Okay. So there is no end marker for ending the user subroutine section. Okay. So these double percentage is placed between the rule section. Okay, so that is very, very important. Otherwise, you will get a syntax error. Then we will discuss each of these section one by one. First is declaration section. So what it contains? The declaration section includes the literal block, definitions, start conditions. So then what do you mean by declaration section? So it includes literal block, definition, start condition as said. So literal block is nothing but a C code bracketed by these lines. Okay, percentage opening brace and ending with percentage closing brace. Okay. So inside this we have the C code declaration and so on. Okay. So what we'll do in this pack is we can add the C variable declaration, that means C language variable declaration. Okay. Also includes C language include statements, hash include statements. Then it also includes definition as I said. So what is this definition stands for? Allows us to give name to all part of regular expression that can be referred by name in the rule section. Okay. So actually we'll describe where do you describe the token using the regular expression? Okay, in the rule section. Okay. So what we'll do in the definition section? Okay. To make things clearer, you can declare names for the regular expression describing the tokens in the declaration sections and can be referred by the name in the rule section. Say, for example, it defines the symbol letter to stand for any upper or lowercase letter. Okay. So in order to describe the letter, say from small a to z or letter from capital A to Z, no, you can use the symbol letter, okay, which will stand for any upper or lowercase letter. Similarly, in order to describe the digit, no, okay, instead of having the regular expression as 0 to 9, okay, you can declare a symbol like digit, okay, so it will stand for any digit within the range 0 to 9. Right. Then the next section is rule section. So rule section is a sequence of rules of the forum. Okay, pattern 1 followed by action 1, pattern 2, action 2, etc. Okay, up to pattern n and then the action n. So here, so rule section is a sequence of rules of this form. Okay, you have the pattern, you have the action. Okay, so where each pi, that means pattern, is a regular expression. Okay, each pi means I stands for 1 to n. Okay, so each pi is a regular expression or pattern specification. Okay, and each action I is a C language statements. Action 1, action 2, etc. up to action n, enclosed in bracket. No, they're actually the C language statements. That means each rule is made up of two parts. Okay? One is a pattern specification or regular expression, and the another one is the action part. Note that while writing this rule, no, pattern must be unintended. Okay, you can write pattern anywhere on the line. Okay, but the action must begin on the same line. That you have to take care. Okay. That means action must begin on the same line where the pattern is present. Okay. Some example of the rules. Okay, say the pattern is lex, followed by the action is printf. This is lex lab. So what is the meaning of this rule? The meaning of this rule is that every occurrence of the word lex, okay, at the input is replaced by the action. What is that action? This is lex lab. Similarly, another rule, the pattern written like this, 0 to 9 inside the square bracket. This is the pattern or expression used to describe the token, and the action is printf digit font. So what do you mean by that? The meaning of this rule is that it will look for any digit within the range 0 to 9. Okay, so whenever a match is found, okay, it will print the message